you not the Premier League leaders? Liverpool out of the FA Cup, and you're drawn with a trip to Manchester City. That, of course, one of the 8 ties that will take place at the start of March. And without a doubt, it is the standout tie. Yeah, before we talk about the repercussions for Liverpool and things, just on that draw, that's really cool for Plymouth, isn't it?
It is. You know what I was like. First of all, you do the big surprise, and I guess for years this is a fantastic Liverpool team. Nobody will in the future say they didn't play with this and that player. They beat Liverpool Football Club, and then the reward for any player, because Plymouth know it's all about surviving in the Championship. And a trip to Manchester City, that is a dream come true on all levels, boys.
Yeah, most definitely. And of course, as we lead up to that round of matches, we'll talk about it more. But there is the other side of Plymouth beating Liverpool. What this means for Liverpool, if anything, because of course, Arne Slot made 9 changes to his side that play regularly, have been so successful this season. Yet, they're out of the FA Cup now. We were talking about the quadruple. That was a kiss of death, wasn't it? Before the start of this game against Plymouth. Right, Mario, does this actually mean anything for Liverpool going forward?
I mean, look, it can affect the rhythm of the team. That's the only thing. I think when you look at the results, when you lose games, that's the only thing. You know, like, I think the players are like that. The comfort side in winning is just a great feeling, and you want to hold on to that feeling. So when you get a dip, it can affect it. But look, one thing he has learned, when it comes to the FA Cup, it's different than when it's back home. Because back home, cups are big, but the FA Cup is bigger than that. And I think sometimes he, you know, the changes that he made in the team, he tweaked it a little bit, thinking that, okay, we can get out of it. But he has to remember, the FA Cup, you play against teams that might not be as good as you, but they will fight with their life. And that's what happened. You know, you play against Plymouth. He said we had no chances. Just the last 10 minutes he had some chances. But look how many stars he had in the team. I mean, Horta, Diaz, you know, Kesa got an opportunity, of course, to start again. Tamiska, yeah. So it's too many players for me that could not handle the situation of winning.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Shaq? Because he was asked afterwards, a young team, and he was like, no, this isn't a young team. This team's got experience in it. And you look at that starting 11, there is experience there. But the concern, obviously, if I'm a Liverpool supporter, if anything happens to my big boys, what we saw from those who are waiting in the background, they're not good enough to come and take me to the level that I need to be if I'm going to win the Premier League and if I'm going to compete for the Champions League.
And there are a couple of things in there. One, Arne Slot does not make excuses.
No.
And credit to him for that, because the easy answer absolutely was, yes, I made changes to include my fringe players and they didn't deliver on the day. That squad, regardless of the changes, should have been good enough to beat Plymouth Argyle. He knows, Arne Slot appreciates the value of having a deep squad and giving those players minutes. They got that. They should have done better with those minutes, but that's not something he's going to blame them for. That being said, and yes, I get all the conversation about Liverpool, about the significance of the Cup and going out. It's just weird how this season has progressed. And now, will this matter? Will getting knocked out of the FA Cup at this point matter? The short answer is, we'll know in May. The first week of August, if you said to Liverpool, you'll win the FA Cup this season, but that's it, I think you take it. Kind of given a lot of the uncertainty around Liverpool, Arne Slot not having experience in the Premier League, we weren't really sure what to expect. You asked that very question first week of January. Nobody takes it.
Yeah.
The season has progressed in a way that Liverpool are favourites to win the Premier League. They're favourites to win the Champions League. Favourites to win the Carabao Cup. And now all of a sudden, kind of given the fact that you're in the final of the Carabao Cup, your position in those two other competitions, the FA Cup seems the least of your worries. So you're quite willing to sacrifice that. And that, again, is credit to Arne Slot and the job that he's done this season. But we all want to kind of sit here and see history written and the quadruple was there to be done. And while from a neutral perspective, or from a Liverpool perspective, you'd have loved to see it, but for Arne Slot, I guess it's a calculated sacrifice.
Okay, I get that. But from what we saw, this is the issue, isn't it? Liverpool have been really lucky so far with injuries in comparison to your Arsenals or your Manchester Cities or your Spurs, obviously, as well. What happens if that luck runs out?
Well, because it's nothing about luck that Liverpool are at the top of the league. Yes, they have been lucky in terms of injuries, but they've had injuries as well. They have a broader squad. Wait.
I think that's a bit blasé to say, isn't it, Jan? They've had injuries as well. I understand they've got centre-back issues, but you've got Arsenal who've lost their best player, Saka. Manchester City lost their Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri. Spurs, Shaka had a call to go and play for them. So you look at it, and I don't think that's fair, is it, to say that Liverpool have had the same issues as others?
Last time I checked Manchester City losing 3 or 4 games in a row, they had a fantastic teams out there, even if Rodri is not out. If we think that the only reason why Manchester City is doing bad this season is Rodri, we're asking the wrong questions. That is point number one. Point number two, we have played against teams like Plymouth, Argyle in our football career. I saw this game. This was one of those games. They defended for their country, for the world, for the universe. That's happening. I wanted to tweet yesterday when I saw this, when the game was over, that congratulations Liverpool, you just won yourself the Premier League. Because I think that if we see that Arne Slot, yes, it's sad that they lose a cup game because I love my
why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't they win both? Why do they have to sacrifice the FA Cup for the Premier League?
It's nothing about sacrifice.
Well, that's what you're suggesting. Because they've sacrificed the FA Cup, that's fine. They're going to go in the Premier League now.
At the moment, they're in the final of the Carabao Cup. Point two, they're one of the favourites in the Champions League and the Premier League. And Arne Slot is on Wednesday playing the Merseyside derby. If he wins that game, he has won the Premier League. So I do 100% respect Arne Slot for doing what he did. Because if you had a look at that team that you just showed on the screen...
No, but I don't think he did it on purpose. I don't think he did it on purpose.
You have to beat Plymouth Argyle.
He didn't do it on purpose.
Go on, Mario.
Yeah, but he did it on purpose. He didn't do that on purpose. No, he played the game. I understand what you say, but he did it on purpose. Like I'm saying, he put in the kids out and he thinks like, okay, let's see what's going to happen. I wanted to win the game. Why I'm saying that? Because I know him as his character, you understand? And I know what he wanted. The only thing is that there are things that he's learning. We know, okay, remember when Liverpool played and we saw a game of them coming back after, all the guys came back after the international week. And okay, next game, boom, they lost.
Yeah,
then the game came again after that. He put his stars in. Yeah, he put the stars in. Why did he do that? Because he learned from the experience. I can guarantee you he has learned from what happened to him. Because that cup game, you understand, it was even when I spoke to him when I was in Manchester, and he was explaining to me all the things that he's learning, and you could hear the way he was speaking that he knows, come on, he has a football brain, because if not, he cannot be in the position he's in. But he is also, some moments like this, the FA Cup, we have to remember, in England, the FA Cup still has the advantage over the Carabao Cup. So if you can make a choice, don't get me wrong, you're in the final. No. Yes, but it's not bigger.
No, I respect Mario, and it's nothing to do disrespect to Arne Slot. It's just like if you play Plymouth Argyle, and no disrespect to Plymouth Argyle, but they are bottom in the championship. So if you play them few days before you can kind of get the Premier League title, you will do that. The only criticism I will put on Arne Slot, if you compare with other big coaches, Sir Alex Ferguson, different coaches who have make rotation, why didn't he put some of his big guns on the bench? That is the only criticism I can put on, because if it goes, you can put people on. That's the only criticism I have. With that team, you still got to beat Plymouth Argyle.
Just one last thing, Jan. I'm not picking on him because there were a lot of bad performances yesterday from those wearing a Liverpool shirt. But Chiesa has completely fallen off a cliff, hasn't he?
We knew that, didn't we? Mm-hmm. I mean, he was not in his best form. And the injury, he had that. And he had glimpse of it when he came on. And I think he's very passionate about Liverpool Football Club. But he should, of course, take more responsibility yesterday. But in that game, but he was not the only one, has to be said.